Welcome, angry faithful, to another Friday. What the hell? Yes. Yes, everybody.
Nothing can go wrong.
Enough of that.
Wrong.
What?
I like that one. I accidentally pressed that button and it worked out. That was
Shut up, Meg.
But what is with this week, Johnny? Bill?
What do you mean?
Is there something that's happening in the world that we thought we were gonna have like an easy news week and then something?
Well, okay. So, to the best of our knowledge, we are now involved in this campaign against Iran because, well, they wanted to pick on our bases in Iraq.
Yeah.
You know,
Look, okay.
and Iran with their great value hypersonic missile. Yeah.
Alexa, turn off Office Spotlight.
You know, I mean, when the Iranian military tweets out, the world will know, or they will feel it too. It's like, who are they trying to convince, us or them?
I think they were convincing themselves.
You know, I mean, Bill, I'm sure you're going to be able to remember this, but it was a political cartoon during Desert Storm, and it showed the Iraqi Scud missile launcher, and it was a Scud missile shoved down a camel's throat, and his ball sack was on a stump, and then you saw a mallet swooping down towards the nuts, and that's how they were launching their Scud missiles.
I actually don't remember that, but
I got to see if I can find it now.
Yeah, go ahead and see where you can find it. I'm gonna.
Oh no.
I got a couple of. Well, Bill, do you want to go with your stuff first, or do you want me to go with mine?
I apologized for the lack of mustache dye.
Huh?
I apologized for the lack of mustache dye this week.
Oh, Bill, you have a Sharpie. We know you use it. That's what's even worse. We know you Sharpie it too. Just do it while on air. That'll be hilarious.
I found it. Check it out.
that is the Iran's missile system, huh?
Yeah. It's like I saw that. It was in I'm trying to remember what paper that was in. That because I mean, I'm in the 8th grade during Desert Storm, something like that. Anyways, and I saw that and I was like, aging myself a little bit here. I cut that out of the paper and took it to school the next day. The teachers got a chuckle out of it, but I was told not to bring it anymore, and I was like, why? And it's like, oh yeah.
It's unprofessional.
It's inappropriate.
Well, here we go with this. And I follow this guy constantly. He has wonderful news.
So I know for the past 96 hours, there's been a lot of news coming out, but this is probably one of the most important pieces of information that we could pass around. And that's from a guy by the name of Mark Levin, made a post on X saying Elon Musk can put the final nail in the coffin of the Iranian regime by providing Starlink internet to the Iranian people. Iran cut off all internet so that people cannot organize a coup and communicate. And then Elon commented on that post and said, the beams are on, meaning that Starlink internet is now available in Iran. So if they're able to get nodes there, they will be able to get internet and communicate with each other. Now, one of the key pieces of information to remember or to know is that as soon as the strikes started happening in Iran from Israel, the Iranian regime basically started cutting off internet. There's huge drop-offs in internet usage. And here's a chart showing the actual drop-off in internet usage. And that is because they want to control the narrative. They want to control communications. They want to control what people are seeing and what they're able to see. And this is going to change that. Having Starlink internet available in Iran, that's big. That's a big deal.
Now, saying that, there's also what Israel done. And I think we did it on. Did we do it on Nerd Sports this week, or did we do that in the after show to where we showed that strike on Israel striking a news company in Iran?
Oh, we talked about it. I think we talked about it towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
So it was still during the episode, but yeah. And the Mark Levin that he was referencing is the great one, Mark Levin. So yeah.
Well, there was some internet right with Starlink is getting out, and there was one someone was standing on a pedestrian bridge holding a sign that said, "Israel, please target Khomeini and the Islamic Republic of Iran broadcasting building."
Oh yeah,
And it was shortly after that it was actually hit.
yeah. That's what we were talking about.
Did you see where he was holding up a sign and taking a picture of it? And that's what went out over the internet?
Yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious. That's what we were talking about this week on Nerd Sports.
Well, yesterday, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, Mark Levin also tweeted out Arsen Ostrovsky on X tweeted out, confirmed one of the ballistic missiles Iran launched at central Israel today carried a cluster munition warhead meant to disperse multiple smaller explosives on impact. Now, the use of such a weapon in populated civilian areas is a clear violation of the Geneva Convention. And they've got a picture of this dud laying on a tile floor after it did not go off.
It's even worse. Yeah. There's also a picture of it hitting someone's car. Parts of it landed on a vehicle.
Well, that's going to be a separate one then. But yeah, yeah. What I love is dude, he tweeted out also Adam Lawise. Many of your favorite anonymous MAGA accounts are run by foreigners with connections to Pakistan, Iran, China, Russia, etc. But he's like, the online propaganda war waged by our enemies, foreign and domestic. So there's an X account out there, it's Red Pill Media.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted out, or they tweeted out, "I'm an American citizen born and raised in America. I refuse to die for Israel." Right? This guy, Yael Jacobi, he basically quoted it, "I'm an American citizen born and raised in America," with a bunch of clown emojis. Then he tagged or pinged the IP, Red Pill Media X, email Abdul Abbas 673@gmail.com. The user's name is Abdul Abbas, location Karachi, Pakistan, and he tweeted that from an iPhone 11.
God, I love the information age, honestly, because you can get like pinpoint where the person's at if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
it's scary. It is very scary. I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and she's like, I try to get as low key on. She's like, because I send her stuff like through TikTok or X, and because she's like, oh, send me all your funny memes and everything. I want to read them. Me and my girl loves them. I was like, okay, cool. So now I have to videotape them like I have to do with Bill to send it to her so she can get the jokes that I keep on telling her.
Yeah. The UK yesterday tweeted out, well, not tweeted out, somebody tweeted out that there's a buildup of aircraft carriers going toward the Persian Gulf. The Royal Navy's HMS Queen Elizabeth, which is designated R08, is currently transiting the Suez Canal headed toward the region. It is the lead ship of the UK's Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carriers. So it's the UK's version of a supercarrier. Well, I guess not Nimitz class. The next one up is the Eisenhower. I think it is. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. So yeah, UK has entered the fray officially.
There
Well,
is.
we're
I'm trying to
we're-
find it right now, but there's a picture of. I don't know if it's just a meme. I seriously think it's just a meme, and it was AI made. But they literally had a radar of all the Air Force's planes leaving the United States. I think that's fake because that's all top secret.
It's OPSEC.
Yeah.
OPSEC forbids movement of military organizations to be broadcast.
Except for that one time.
Dude,
That was hilarious.
my wife the other night was laying in bed and we were trying to get ready for bed, and she shows me this video that she's seen on TikTok. Somebody was talking about OPSEC violations.
Mhm.
And she's like, why is this still a thing with people? I was like, because people are fucking dumb. So
What was his name that screwed over first
Geraldo Rivera was kicked out of Iraq twice after being embedded with the 101st Airborne Division twice, drawing a map in the sand on TV.
Yeah.
Like, this is our position in relation to where the Iraqi army is at. And they were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, a friend of mine up at work, he was like, why does all the army hate the infantry division? Because a friend of mine that was in the army said he has PTSD because of Geraldo Rivera. I was like, oh, and I told him what happened. He's like, that's real. I was like, yeah, he's that dumb.
Yeah.
He cannot be in country with the troops.
Even during peacetime, right? When my dad was in the Navy, the OPSEC was a thing back then too. It's always been a thing. But
I couldn't tell anybody.
My mom, she was considered what they call the ombudsman. So she was like the family advocate for it. She spoke directly to the family readiness group, to the skipper of the ship, kind of thing. She got a call from one of the wives wanting to know exactly what time on this particular date that the ship was going to be coming in. And she's like, wait, how do you know that? I don't even know that. How do you know that? Oh, my husband told me. Oh, well, let me find out for you. And then she gets, if I remember the story correctly, she gets the switchboard operator on base to get her directly connected with the skipper on the ship in the Pacific. So-and-so's wife called me and wanting to know what time y'all were going to be in on this date. He's like, how did you know that? She goes, I didn't. She did. She said that her husband told her. Thank you for that. Let me handle it. Because according to my dad, this dude gets pulled out of whatever department he was working in and left the captain's quarters with his asshole about 3 feet wider than it was when he went in.
I bet.
And 1 pay grade less, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, yo, is that OPSEC
Dude,
is a thing?
Yeah, like I can now, since like being out of the military for about 20 years or so, I can now. I've been saying like now this is just past 5-6 years that I was in Bahrain. For the longest time, I couldn't say I was in Bahrain.
Doesn't that make you feel old as shit, dude? You're like, I've been out for 20 years. Like, yeah.
I had to think. I was like, I've been out. Oh shit, more than 20 years. Shit.
Dude, check this out. So I sent my stepson and my wife to the Metallica concert on the 14th, last Saturday.
I thought you were supposed to go to that.
I was, but it was Reagan's birthday.
Oh, okay.
And so, being the good dad that I am, I'm not going to skip out on my kid's birthday just to go to no, not unless he's going with me.
I skipped out from going to the NRA event with my dad and brother-in-law, so I understand. I went to go my daughter's graduation.
I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I've already seen Metallica once in my life. I'm like, okay, I've checked that box on the bucket list, but this was a bucket list band for him. So I was like, okay. Of course, they also had Pantera opening up, and I was like, that's not Pantera. It's the same front guy, but
Yeah.
I saw the original Pantera, right? And I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like every joint in my body suddenly felt horrible. Like everything in my body hurt all at once. It was like 1,000 voice. It was like 10,000 voices screaming on and out all at once in agony. Right.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Metallica was the Summer Sanitarium tour in Atlanta, August of 2000. It was a makeup show. I'm sitting there, I'm like, it has been 25 years since I've seen Metallica in concert. I'm like, oh, ouch. I'm like, oh, shoulders and rotator cuffs, my knees hurt.
Got to take an Epsom salt bath just to get
Did
all
you say
that.
you were celebrating a birthday on Saturday?
Yeah.
Trump's, right?
Trump's, my United
big
States Army's
parade.
birthday.
Yeah, big parade and all
The
that. No, that
flag's
was for Trump.
birthday.
That was just for Trump, right?
Yeah,
And my son Reagan, who yes is named after Ronaldus Magnus, celebrated his 14th birthday on the 14th. So
happy birthday.
Yeah. So he's currently playing Black Ops Zombies in the room behind me. So
okay. Now
my system supposedly came with a free game of some kind, but I haven't even checked into it and loaded it.
What game? What system?
Well, one that I had built.
I went out and bought a PS3. I got the Slim, and because I've had a ton of PS3 games forever, and I used to have the fat one, right, the original release, and I sold it, and so I went out and bought this one, and he's in here jamming out.
About 15 years ago, 15 or more years ago, I stopped playing games on the computer. I got too addicted to Flight Simulator, and then I backed off and said, no. And took it off. Never put another game on any of my computers.
Well, they have Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series X now, and when it first dropped, it was last year? I think it was last year, 2024, Flight Simulator 2024. I installed it because it was on Game Pass, and I was like, okay, dude. I logged probably about 300 flight hours.
Too bad that doesn't carry over.
It actually does.
Does it?
Yeah. Flight Simulator does count towards your pilot's license.
That is interesting to know.
Yeah. Or at least it used to. But I'm sitting there, the worst weather humanly possible. Right? Because it was real-time weather.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, we had like a small tropical depression kind of blowing through, and I was sitting there playing it, and I'm flying in the game through the tropical depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I need to stop. Because I was sitting there looking for the flight stick, for the pedals, for the rudders. I was looking for the whole setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at probably dropping about $400 or $500 just for my just for controller setups for my Xbox. And I was like, no, I can't do that.
Well, at least you didn't buy what was that one game that came with its own controller? It wasn't Armor Core. It was Vertical Tank or something like that. Armor Tank.
Yeah.
And dude, that was like $70, and the controller came like it was basically you put it on a table and it comes with its own pedals, and it was a 3-stage controller.
Yeah.
And you had to switch everything, and if you were coming in to save your game to where you didn't die, you had to have an ejection button. Dude,
well, as it is, I'm looking at spending probably close to about $450 on the Logitech steering wheel with the three pedals.
Oh, yeah.
And getting the manual shifter, which is like an additional $70 or $80 on top of that for my PS5, because I the nostalgia bug bit me square in the ass. I was sitting there talking about how I used to run the 24-hour endurance races on Gran Turismo 3 when it was on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
And, like doing 24 hours at the Nürburgring. I'm like, man, come on. And 24 hours Sebring, 24 hours of Daytona, stuff like that. And I went out and bought Gran Turismo 7 because it was on sale. And I was like, I can't just play that with the controller. I need the steering wheel.
Did you hear the recent news for Le Mans for 2027?
Yes, NASCAR is going back to Le Mans. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson.
No. Ford versus Ferrari.
The Ford GT has been there running Le Mans consistently. So has Corvette. So has Cadillac.
I don't know why. Okay.
They're making a big deal out of it because it's the anniversary of the initial,
okay.
But Garage 56, the NASCAR entry from last year, they're going back.
I am so excited for that one.
I love the fact that the other teams were rattled by the Camaro, right? Because every engine sounds basically the same at the Le Mans racetrack, right?
Yeah.
And you said you had these other drivers that were trying to get some sleep in between their driving shifts, and every few minutes you would hear this, you would hear that American horsepower just ripping. I mean, it was a NASCAR engine ripping down the track, past the pits. And they had one guy, he actually took video of it. Like you hear that, right? And then it was like, and here comes the American entry. Just like, yeah. So be prepared once again that once Le Mans kicks off, we're going to hear those TikTok sound bites about what the fuck is a kilometer with the American Eagle screaming in the background. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
I can't wait for that either, only because of
the live stream alone, dude. I'm going to be invested.
Yeah. What's really good is the Vet's new ZR1 engine. It's beast mode. It really is.
I mean, just okay. So with the Camaro, the NASCAR entry, Bill, think about it like this. Okay, so normally they take a picture of the starting grid from the start finish line, right, going back, right. Starts with your supercars, starts with your prototypes. You go all the way back to your GT classes, right. The Camaro sits a full car height taller than the rest of the field, and this is set up. With the exception of the working headlights and taillights, it's set up, ride height and everything is set up exactly the same way as a NASCAR race car is. So it tells you how low to the ground these other cars are. They're like half as tall as a production Camaro.
Man, I have the picture. I have the picture that you're talking. Well, I'll just see if I can bring it up a little bit more, but it just goes to the website. If you can tell right there, that's what it looks like. That is amazing. I mean, honestly, it's like, hey, little guys, I'm here to protect you. I'm your big brother. I will.
All right, I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up on the Garage 56 Instagram page. So here, let me share that screen here real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah. That is monster beast mode right there.
Yeah,
that is.
It's like,
soul.
It's so great. I'm just sitting there looking at. I'm watching this in real time. I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna be so good.
And in all honesty, it was both for them and for Le Mans, for NASCAR and Le Mans, because a lot of people started watching that only because most of them just wanted to watch the NASCAR, see how
watch it for the NASCAR entry. Now again, it was supposed to be a one and done, right?
Yeah.
Ford was supposed to take it over this year. Ford was supposed to put their Dark Horse Mustang NASCAR body on the track at Le Mans.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, Ford either backed out or they couldn't make their commitment timelines. So Hendrick Motorsports, which has been running the Garage 56, still has all of their tech in place. Their entire infrastructure never got tore down. So
Mm.
Rick Hendrick was like, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh yeah.
And so Jimmy Johnson signed back up. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Let me see here. 2025 drivers. Jimmy Johnson, Mike Rockenfeller, and Jeff Gordon are going to be piloting that car this year.
Ooh.
So you got the 7-time NASCAR Cup champion in Jimmy Johnson. You've got the 4-time Cup champion Jeff Gordon, and then you've got Mike Rockenfeller coming in to pick up the to pick up the slack.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn. Jeff Gordon was talking about, he's like, I can't wait. He's because he said it's been years since he's been in a race car, and so he's gonna be turning some test laps and trying to get some practice in on that car to kind of get a feel for how the weight's distributed versus the older car that he was driving.
hopefully he's doing some neck.
Well, he's going to be wearing the Hans device and everything like that. I mean, they're all. I mean, this car you don't climb in through the window like you would normally do. I mean, they've got they will be. They will climbing in and out through that window like a normal race car, but normal NASCAR Cup car. But bro, I can't wait. This is going to be so monumental. It's going to be great. I mean, it especially if they. I'm not. Let me be clear. I don't have any kind of like foolish aspiration or aspirations that they're going to podium, but how amazing would that be?
It would.
And then like you see the video and then you see the telemetry coming from that car versus other cars. I mean, it was passing cars in classes above it in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the long straightaways, the supercars, the prototypes, the GT classes, those like the torque band on those transmissions is not very conducive to acceleration. It's all about top end, right?
Yeah.
Coming out of a braking zone, getting back into the throttle, that NASCAR entry was out accelerating everybody, just pure nasty unadulterated torque.
Yeah.
It was so great. And especially on rain tires when it was raining, they were still out accelerating everybody. And they could get into the brakes in time and adjust the braking zones by adjusting the brake bias.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's one of the reasons why I went out and bought Gran Turismo 7, and I'm eyeballing the steering wheel setup. So if any of our endearing listeners, viewers, this is feeling a little magnanimous, get with David. He'll get you my contact information. I will put up I'll put up a series of TikTok videos on the Angry Me account of the setup and the start of this Gran Turismo journey. So yeah.
Speaking of going back and getting the internet, which I don't know how we got to here, but we got to here.
I thought I'd mention real quick. He was talking about how much you can be tracked on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I remember how we got on the subject. You started talking about Flight Simulator, and then it morphed into Gran Turismo, and then it morphed into the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Well, we talked about computers, and I mentioned a game, and then I said I don't play any games on the computer.
So just like it started, we're going to come back full circle with Elon Musk and Starlink. So.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I was just about tracking. This is how detailed you can get. Okay, someone visited my website a little while ago. So there's 53 page views. She's had 103 sessions. She's ultra liberal. From Olympia, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the time she left the website, time she came on, screen resolution, 1920 by 1080, Chrome operating system, version 109, Windows 10. So that's the kind of detail you can catch.
Windows 10. Good God.
Well,
I mean, Microsoft's about to neuter Windows 10.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I had everything set up for this podcast that I've been doing, and I could do things real easy. Real easy. My old computer has Windows 10, where you can actually do things.
Yeah.
And the new one has Windows 11. Oh, I want to go and do this that opens that. You can't do that. Well, you'll have to minimize this and go here and do this. You mean I can't just click this? And I spent 2 days trying to figure out how to do 4 simple things, stuff that should have been like that. And Windows 11 can't even do them. It's going to be a real pisser when I have my other 2 computers that I have to upgrade. I'm leaving them on Windows 10 as long as I can. But this new kick-ass system that I've got this going on, it just had to have Windows 11 on it. And I hate it. Continue.
You know what really grinds Bill's gears?
Windows 11.
Okay, talking about Iran getting internet and staying with the internet. Here is a post of a Iranian Imperial Air Force pilot. Now I'm gonna have to. He's speaking Farsi, so I'm gonna have to tell you what it is. So bear with me. Greetings to you, all brave Iranians, nation. Let me do it this way. Let me just mute him. Okay. Greetings to you, the brave Iranian nation. We, the King's Air Force Pilots Association, fully support Prince Raza Pahlavi. Oh, God damn it.
So basically, he's doing a state-sponsored rah-rah speech because off camera, he's got about 3 guns pointed at his head.
Well, no. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, the Iranian prince. Just to give you a little bit of headway on that, the Iranian prince isn't in charge.
Yeah,
he's pretty much exiled.
So he's the modern day Shah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And now what is happening here is they're trying to gather the forces to get the prince back into power and get the Islamic Revolution out.
Yeah, the Ayatollah Khomeini. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, if you want to cut the head off of the Hydra and not have to worry about 2 other snake heads growing back, take out the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Pure, plain and simple.
MAGA
because
is
the Ayatollah is the one that pushed out the Shah back in 79. And then as soon as the Islamic Revolution took over, that's when all of those American hostages were taken. And they were held for, what was it, Bill? It was like 60 days? 90 days, something like that?
No, a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah. But they were released the day of Reagan's inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
The day of.
Yeah, that was a ploy, though.
Well, I understand,
Right.
but I mean, it just
Between
seemed like,
every
when we had the peanut farmer in office,
Yeah.
America, like when Joe Biden was in office, was the laughing stock of the free world.
444 days.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I would. Okay. And this is just my opinion. Johnny might have a different opinion than mine. So will Bill, probably most people. But I think what happened between them releasing them once he was inaugurated was bullshit. I think Carter, they should have released him as fast as possible, no matter what. Because basically what you're saying is, hey, we know you have him. I know you're going to release him. Can you hold off and just, not torture him or anything like that for a couple of days?
Well,
Until this new guy comes in.
Reagan had stated on the campaign trail what would happen if they were still hostages when he took office, which was a complete stark contrast to the inaction being taken by Carter and his administration. during the entire time that those people were hostages.
I
So
understand that.
okay, so what looked like placating, what looked like maybe really
No, it
bad
was.
timing,
It's documented that it was placated.
it was also the backing down of the Iranian regime at the time, because they did not want to incur the wrath of somebody from the Americans, or the American president that was all about national security, that was all about peace through strength.
So, what do you think about Iran and Trump and what could happen? It's splitting the hell out of MAGA right now. Do you think he should just back off and let everything go? Do you think he should go for regime change? Do you think he should go ahead and knock out the bunker and the nuclear facility and back off? Or do you trust his judgment that he'll do the right thing?
Okay.
I trust his judgment here, but I also trust him to be very surgical, because if anything, if history has taught us anything, and I'm talking about the course of American history, over the course of our history, any major global conflict that has been, that has started up without us, and has gone that way until the voices of isolationism have been drowned out by the overwhelming cry to get involved, either because American interests or American lives have been lost. Okay. So the fact that Americans have already been put in danger because of the Iranian attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq, I think that at this point we have to get involved. I think because of the fact that our allies are, needing the logistical support to conduct this campaign up to this point, short of ground invasion, we have to get involved in order to nurture and maintain these relationships that we have with these friendly countries, i.e., Israel and the UK.
Okay.
Go ahead,
well,
David.
okay. One, we already know what would happen because it happened during his administration. Okay. And it's also when we found out that we have a Hellfire missile that shoots out swords. Okay. Because we used it twice.
Yeah. Well, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, we took out a general while he was sitting next to another guy, and it just decimated the car. That's it. That was all because they used a sword missile. Then they did it again with someone else. I just forget who it was.
Well, the Israelis also have a missile or a bomb that localized a single floor in a high-rise apartment building, and they've used it. They took out an Iranian general in his living room.
No, that
was it one of ours? Was that ours? Okay,
that was the Hellfire.
Right, so
that was the other guy.
But here's the thing. Okay, regardless as to the level of our involvement up to this point, we're already involved.
Yes.
So there's no, we need to be isolationists and we need to back off because this isn't our fight. Well, here's the thing. Until our energy infrastructure, and yes, I'm talking about oil, everybody, so just calm your fucking tits. But once our energy infrastructure restabilizes itself and we start producing our own oil, we start replenishing our own strategic reserve with American oil, and we get to the point where we're not reliant on OPEC, we can control the market here.
Yeah.
Okay. The price of gas here has already gone up like 20 or 30 cents.
40.
Has it gone up 40 cents up there? Okay.
I bought gas yesterday at $2.39. Today, when I went to work, $2.79.
Yeah. See, and it's the same gas that was in the ground yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just that, Iran is now reducing their production, obviously. And it's not like we're going to go after their oil. If they're okay. Oof. Wow. That's
yeah. That's
but here, the thing of it is that I trust the president's judgment. I do. I trust that he is going to listen to his military advisors. because one of his big campaign promises was to restore the strength and the operational vitality of the American military. The American military, we just got out of a protracted 20-year multi-front war. Okay, we're not looking to go, punching dicks in the desert again.
Well, okay. Here's another thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
go ahead. Go
This is
right
going
ahead.
This is going from JD Vance, and I was going to say this earlier. This is JD Vance on his X. Look, I'm seeing this from the inside and admitting bias towards our president and my friend, but there's a lot of crazy stuff on social media. So I wanted to address some things directly on Iran issue. First, POTUS has been amazing constant over 10 years that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Over the last few months, he encouraged his foreign policy team to reach a deal with the Iranians to accomplish this goal. The president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium enrichment. And he's said repeatedly that this would happen one of two ways, the easy way or the other way. Second, I've seen a lot of confusion over the issue of civilian nuclear power and uranium enrichment. These are distinct issues. Iran could have civilian nuclear power without enrichment, but Iran rejected that. Meanwhile, they've enriched uranium far above the levels necessary for civilian purposes. They've been found in violation of their non-proliferation obligation. Thank you, Bill, for helping me out with that one. By the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. Which is hardly a right-wing organization. People are going crazy with that shit. It is one thing to want civilian nuclear energy. It is another thing to demand
sophisticated enrichment capacity. And I'm sorry, David. Let me. You want me to read the? I can.
No, I got it.
Okay.
And it's still another to cling to the enrichment within simulation violation. Simultaneously violating basic non-proliferation. Go ahead.
Proliferation. Okay. All right. So it's still another to cling to enrichment while simultaneously violating basic non-proliferation obligations and enriching right to the point of weapons grade uranium. I have yet to see a single good argument for why Iran needed to enrich uranium well above the threshold for civilian use. I've yet to see a single good argument for why Iran was justified in violating its non-proliferation obligations. I've yet to see a single good pushback against the IAEA's findings. Meanwhile, the president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our military's focus on protecting our troops and protecting our citizens. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president. And of course, people are right to be worried about foreign entanglement after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy. Yes, last 25 years. Now, but I believe, now that was me ad-libbing, but I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue. And having seen this up close and personal, I can assure you that he is only interested in using the American military to accomplish the American people's goals. Whatever he does, that is his focus. So, I agree 100%, not blindly, but I do agree 100% with this take. It is ultimately the president's decision, and they've got information that we are not privy to. Even people like Bill, who are skilled at prying information from the dark corners of the internet, we don't have all the facts, and we're not going to get all of the facts until much, much later. Okay. Yeah. In the early going,
I mean, even there's even stuff that Tulsi Gabbard from back in March was saying that they hadn't had any kind of enrichment nuclear.
Yeah. And see, my wife asked she asked a very good question the other day. She goes, what right do we have as a country to tell other countries that they can't have nuclear energy? And I was like, it's not that we're telling them they can't have nuclear energy. We're telling them that they cannot have nuclear weapons. And that is because of the unstable nature of their governments. And it's not that their governments are going to fall, falter, decline. It's the fact that Iran has been since 79 has been a terrorist sponsoring state. And we don't want, how can I say it? We don't need radicalized Islamists having their fingers on a dead man switch.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't help out Yemen to have nuclear capability?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well,
Yeah. And it's almost bad enough. Sorry, Bill, but it's almost bad enough that we let Pakistan have them.
Yeah.
It's almost bad enough that we let India have it.
Yeah.
Because those two constantly are getting into a pissing contest with each other. And they're one bad day away from just completely reducing the population in that part of the world.
Or even India and China. How many?
Even India and China.
They're literally at the border right now, beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. You look at the stockpile levels around the world. The U.S. by far and away has the most over any nation. And I was trying to figure out a way to explain this to my wife the other day. The reason why we have nuclear weapons is not so that we have them. They're more there as a deterrent. Yes, we've used them twice. We have dropped a portable sun on Japan, not once, but twice. The second time was just to prove our resolve. Okay. But does it make it right to use them? No, it doesn't. The reason why we did that, again, if you go back historically and you look at it, you had the X Day, which was the planned invasion of the Japanese homeland. They projected over 1 million casualties alone in Japan, and that was on both sides. 1 million bodies. From one campaign.
They still have. You can still get a Purple Heart if you're in the service. I mean, I know of people that got Purple Hearts that were from for just in case of that day.
Yeah. So
they had made it that many Purple Hearts.
Yeah, they made that. Yeah, any of the Purple Hearts that are being awarded now are not new. They are stockpiled from World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So
because of that day.
Yeah, but anyway, so the nuclear deterrence has always been a thing, and it harkens back to one of Reagan's big principles, which is peace through strength. And so, yes, while at the height of the Cold War, the height of the arms race, we had the capability between ourselves and the Soviets to destroy the world. What was it, like 28 times over?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got it reduced to where we can destroy ourselves 16 times over. So, hey, it's a progressive step in the right direction. But countries like Iran, if you want nuclear energy, fine. But when you start spinning stuff up in centrifuges to make weapons grade uranium, that's where we have to draw the hard line. That's where we have to say no. And it's not because it threatens American interests and American national security. It threatens the stability in that region of the world.
Yeah.
And, I think that, I can't remember the name of the doctrine that was adopted back in the 50s, I think it was, where the American government vowed to fight communism in the Northern Hemisphere. But I think we need to expand that to radical Islam, make it official, because, and here's why, because it forces the people that follow that doctrine to live in the 14th century.
Okay. Here, I understand what you're saying and everything, but I got some proof with that.
Okay.
Which is this is very sad, and people need to understand what we are talking about.
Okay.
Nope. Yep. There we go. Now this happened in England. This is a GBN newscast.
Most disgusting case. Well, one of the most disgusting cases I've seen in recent days, weeks, whatever. A man called Sadek Niksad, 29. Raped a 15-year-old girl following her down the street in broad daylight in a town in Scotland. Entered the UK illegally 2 years before the attack from Afghanistan. He harassed her and then went and raped her in a courtyard. This is the man pictured. And we're not deporting him.
Well, no, he arrived on a small boat just a few years ago. At the court, he was shouting and screaming at the judge. But most extraordinarily, his counsel, acting for him, the taxpayers' pound, was saying that there were significant cultural differences between the UK and Afghanistan, where this asylum seeker came from. And that those cultural differences meant that he didn't understand that he shouldn't rape a 15-year-old girl.
Well, what do you reckon to that? Cultural barriers. Apparently
Cultural barriers? What do I think about that? I say castrate him and then turn him loose
you can rape
in a
her.
pub.
Daylight? No, I didn't know. I can't speak the language very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something similar. Well, that's happening daily practically.
Yeah.
But just as an example of how they look at it, Johnny, is in I think it was Denmark. Someone who was being raped, tried to defend herself with mace, and they let him go, and they charged her because she had mace.
yeah. Okay, so
Thank God we have the second.
it was a running joke in the early 2000s that political correctness was going to kill us one day. Those chickens are coming home to roost. I mean, not to quote the Reverend Wrong, Reverend Wright. But those chickens have come home to roost. Okay, these placatory tactics that the left has employed. Is that even a word? Placatory. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
I like the sound of it.
Placating, placatory. Anyways,
It is. If it isn't,
it's an angry
in the
meism.
dictionary,
Ooh,
it is now yours.
that's a new word. That's a new
We're
term.
going to be submitting that to Webster's.
It's an angry meism.
There we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
It's not a real
Ageism.
word, but we're gonna make it.
Yeah. But these tactics that have been employed by the left to be all inclusive, it's funny because it's all inclusive as long as you agree or with them or agree to vote for them, and then you can think anything you want. But you know, if you believe in God, you believe in self-sufficiency, you believe in the rule of law, you're a fascist now all of a sudden. I love how they have changed the definition of fascism to fit their narrative.
And we'll get that at the end, into a little bit into the end of the show. But I just want to say this: there are some people that are actually trying to be a little bit better humans. I mean, we might rag and everything, but we also look at the some of the bright sides of what's happening. And here is Israelites and Iranians in harmony, trying to say, "Hey, we want to free Iran from the evils that they have right now." And this is
the Iranian community is here alongside the Jewish community to stand together against the common enemy that we have, and that's the Islamic Republic that is in Iran.
This is not Iran or Iranians' war. This is Islamic regime's war. This is Ayatollah Khamenei's, the dictator's war.
We have tried so hard for so many times throughout the years to free ourselves from these dictatorships, and we've been alone all along. Our only friend is Israel. I'm sad today for my people in my country who's going through this horrible, horrible event. But at the same time, I'm hopeful. And hope is all we have.
The Islamic regime in Iran spreads terrorism globally. We're standing together to end it. Israel's attack on Iran is attack on the regime, not the people of Iran. And we just wanted people to know that Iranian Australians and Jewish Australians are standing together in solidarity.
We're here in support of the values of civilization, the values we want to live under, opposed to the values of utter barbarism that we see on the other side.
Myself as a Jew, and we have all these other Persians here who are very hopeful for the outcome of what may happen in the coming weeks. We, the Iranian and Jewish people, are standing together today in a dream of a free Iran for all Iranian women, a free Iran for all Iranian people, a free Iran for the region. Free Iran! Free Iran!
See, that gives me hope for humanity, man. It really does.
Yeah, I saw that, and even now seeing it again, I still tear up a little bit.
All right, so I got a little clarification. It's pronounced placatory.
Placatory.
Okay. Placatory. According to the Cambridge Dictionary,
Okay.
to avoid making someone angry. It's an adjective, formal adjective. It is pronounced placatory. So I mispronounced it, but I was on the right track. I still love angry meism though. That's a great thing. Yeah, right there.
Unfortunately, though, that's Australia is it's taken over. It's taken over with the same type of immigration issues. So that's a small part of
Look,
the people.
here's
in
my take on the
Australia.
immigration issues around the world. Okay. You're starting to see Europeans push back.
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to become infectious. Okay. Because the example that our president is setting for the rest of the world about lawful immigration, not open borders. Open borders is a one-way ticket to anarchy. And nobody needs that. I mean, we've lived under that for the last 25 years. People inviting refugees from around the world. Like, okay, great. If you want to claim asylum and you want to enter the country, great. Don't bring your third world bullshit policies with you, because all you're doing is making the rest of the world exactly the same way as that shithole that you left.
Yeah.
That is the mindset I never understood. And especially, and this is probably going to get me flagged, but especially with these anti-ICE demonstrations and these riots, or in like places like LA, where you see people who are legal U.S. citizens that were born in the U.S. They have come from U.S. heritage, the American heritage. They just got ethnic ties to the old country, right? They're out there waving Mexican flags. They're out there waving flags of like Pakistan and just all these foreign flags, trying to represent and stand up for the people who can't speak for themselves. But it's like, look, if you like it so much there, you think it's such a great thing that they're from there, go live there. Go live there, because you say what you want about Mexico. Okay. Say what you want about it. You go there illegally, you're going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts.
They're actually having a protest against immigration because they're coming through Guatemala.
Yeah. So, you've got these caravans of military age men. You don't see children. You don't see the women. They're all military age men. We know what's going on. Okay. We know what's going on. We know the purpose behind these caravans of refugees. Okay. Like I said, say what you want about Mexico. They've got some of the best immigration policies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You come here illegally and you get caught, you're going to prison. There is no deporting you back to your home, your country of origin. You're going to go spend some time in our prison system. Good luck. If you make it out, then we'll deport you.
And if you even want to become a citizen of Mexico, do it their legal way. You have to either be rich or have a very solid, well-paying job to even begin the process.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's just like a work visa, you have to have all of that in place. You have to have a place of residence. You have to have a place of employment. I mean, you have to have healthcare in place through your employer just to get a work visa. But for whatever reason, America doesn't have that down. They don't. The people that have been running this country for the last 25 years haven't. They don't get it. I don't understand why it is so hard of a concept to grasp.
Okay, here's the reason, and it just happened last week, and this is what happens because people don't understand of other countries. They don't want to, apparently. This is beyond stupid.
Your message has been already received, and you can go back and turn back to Cairo. We're supposed to arrange all of that.
We could do it in America.
Okay.
Why can't we do it here?
Because this is not America, buddy. This is not the land of, oh, I'm sorry, officer, you can't do that to me. I know my rights. No, this is the land of, you don't listen to the police, you get to pick your teeth off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're mostly rich people that are feeling guilty because they have money
Mhm.
and they went
Well-
over there and they don't research stuff.
Well, and here's the thing too. Okay. And I said that I couldn't wrap my head around the idea as to why they don't grasp it. They know why they're doing what they've been doing.
It's
It
literally
is social. No, hold on. It's social engineering. Bill, I know you know you know where I'm going with this. Okay. Social engineering. You let this underclass of people come into the country, you give them benefits, you give them rights, quote unquote rights. And then when it comes time for your reelection, you throw the other party under the bus as being the person that's going to throw you out on your ear. And guess what? You're going to have an entire underclass of voters in your back pocket for basically nothing. You're going to institutionalize your party's base. That's why they do it.
It's getting a little deeper than that. They are going for the World Economic Forum One World Order.
Oh yeah, that too. But
And
yeah, I mean,
the other
national sovereignty is supposed to be on its way out the door.
right. And I don't know if you saw it. I don't think you were here when I played a video of the person running for Prime Minister of Poland.
No.
2 weeks
no.
before, yeah, 2 weeks before the election. 2 weeks before the election, the people started chanting Donald Trump, Donald Trump. This is at a rally in Poland.
Yeah.
And then the main guy, the guy running, he said, Donald Trump is not just a person. He's a symbol of freedom for the free world. All these countries around the world, I've been watching since before the election. I've been tracking and communicating with people in a lot of different countries. They were all hoping Trump would win. Now these aren't the ones you see. Oh, he's got bad ratings in, say, Germany. Well, yeah, most of Germany is just.
They cut off the nuclear program and did wind and solar, and now they're begging off of Russia right now. I got it.
Well, yeah, if you want to get into that, topic,
they're going super left and crazy.
No, they've already been. Now there's that undercurrent, and okay, yeah, the AFD, you could go, oh, AFD, they're Nazis, but they've got a far right faction that, just like the Democrats have their far left progressives, it's going to have to be cleaned out a little bit, but they don't have a real conservative party. But if you listen to their leaders, listen to some speeches over the last couple of weeks from their leaders, and it's really phenomenal that how they want to close the borders. Everyone does. Poland does. Hungary does. The big protest a couple of weeks ago in UK, Ireland, Scotland, and Spain and Greece, they're all looking at Trump as the example to close the borders. Say, if he can do it, then we can. So that's what the whole the whole protest that we've had the No Kings protest, and they they even had No Kings for Solidarity for America. They had No Kings protests in Vancouver, I think, and a couple other cities in Canada, but they couldn't call it No Kings because they actually have a king.
Yeah, well,
so they called it No Tyrants.
Did you hear about the big No Kings rally that's going to be taking place here? Yeah, it's supposed to happen across the country on July 4th.
Oh, really? What? Hold on.
You know, because that's the day that we declared our independence from an actual king.
And there's their poster.
No, I tell you what, though, somebody comes on my lawn, somebody comes up to my house, somebody tries to encroach upon because I'm wearing a shirt. I'll show you, Bill. This shirt here. This is the shirt that I'm wearing on the 4th of July, right? I have got a stencil in the shape of a star cut out on my Cricut machine, and I've got white paint, marker paint. I'm going to paint all 50 stars on my front lawn. So I'm telling you right now, okay. The idea that we're going to be bullied into, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Pledging allegiance to the left. They are outside of their fucking minds. Absolutely outside of their minds, because you want freedom. Get on the right side of history, and by right side I mean the right side. Okay, all of these people that lean to the left, the sooner that we get liberalism declared as an officially recognized mental disorder, I think the better off we're going to be.
Speaking of that, John, we do have some good news.
Oh, do we?
We have a little bit of good news. It is so funny, and if you keep up with the Democratic Party,
okay,
this is what's happening right now.
This is wild. So they defund USAID.
That is awesome.
What have we been talking about on this program? We have said that USAID is simply a slush fund for Democrats.
Yes.
Here's how it works, and we just showed you. Okay, so we would use a number like this, but let's round the numbers up. Okay, so we just have a story that we just talked about with $1 billion in fraud from USAID. $1 billion in fraud. These shady figures that exist right inside the Beltway, right there in Virginia and Maryland. Okay, right outside of DC. We've often on this program used the example that USAID gives a contract for $1 billion. We've said this before a million times, but now we have the actual literal proof. Can you pop the article up? USAID.
Okay. Now, saying that, I had to do, I was like, maybe this guy is just, searching for, clout, clickbaity stuff, I get that. But being as reporters that we are, I did a little bit of research. Found this at the New York Post, and this was actually published June 19th, 2025 at 3:18 p.m. Eastern. Democrats' main fundraising committee so crash-strapped it is considering borrowing money. Party is, and this is so funny that it is part of the title from the New York Post. And I'm going to show this to everybody. The party is effed. Now, going in, Democrats' main fundraising committee is losing big donors, and so cash strap, that is, its officials have discussed borrowing money to keep the lights on, with one source spelling that to the Post that if things do not turn around before 2026 midterms, the party is effed. We are 6 months in and already drowning. A source close to the Democratic National Committee told the Post about the current rate of contributions. The RNC was so cash heavy, hitting us day after day after day when Biden was president. We have no clear path or plan, they added. The midterm is going to come before we know it, and then we're going to be really effed. The DNC struggled to message against the Trump administration and rather publicly leadership in fighting, including the recent departure of former DNC Vice Chair David Hoggle. Also led some of its largest donors to taper off their contribution. God, I can't even say that.
Contribution?
Yes, thank you.
I wonder how long it's going to be before we start seeing the Democrat Party start asking for money back from some of these high-profile people that they've donated money to over the years.
Well, look at what happened after the election. Okay?
Yeah.
Trump gave them $20 million. gave them $20 million because they were flat broke. It was already happening after the election. This wasn't like foreshadowing. This wasn't clickbaity. We already reported on it right after the election because that's what happened. They went bankrupt. They already had been bankrupt. They were just, Trump had to give them money. It's like, hey, listen, sorry I kicked your ass.
Right.
Here's a 50. I hope you all right. Sorry for the bloody nose. It got a little bit crazy there.
Yeah.
But hope we can be friends.
Well, the big donors are going to give up on them because, you know, you get like the midterms I've mentioned here where Obama came out and said, I got a shellacking. Soros decided to stop giving money to, or as much money to the people running for House and Senate, the Democrats, trying to buy them off. And he moved over to funding judges. That's why we have the judge situation. It's been over 10 years that he's been pummeling money into the judges. Now, the big donors don't trust the Democrat Party. They're a bunch of loons. They're losing it, and they know that as long as they go in this direction, they're not going to maintain any retain any power.
Right.
So the money is starting to go to those other organizations. You know, we've got USAID cut off. So the rich people around the world are having to fund those organizations. And that's what they're doing. And I discounted the No Kings protests as a bunch of idiots. Now I can tell you one thing about it. I wear patriotic shirts almost all the time. I've worn a couple on this show. I have 3 real patriotic ones that I rotate out. Yesterday, I was at a casino in Hinton, Oklahoma, and I was in a restaurant, and this old lady comes up to me. I'm wearing my red patriotic that you guys have seen before.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, I love your shirt. I wish I'd have had that Saturday. She was in Arizona, and where she was, the protesters were in her way. So she said, I wish I had that. And then she goes, you know what? Over half of them were old people. So what we've got, if you look at a lot of the protests, of course, if you look at the filming that the network media shows you, it's going to show you the, you know, young, but you can see in the background, if you pay attention, it's old people. The majority of this last Saturday's protest, because they've scared them that Trump is going to completely now I'm not saying cut down, completely eliminate Medicare. They don't think he's going to cut their benefits. They're convinced he's going to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's the classic
and
playbook.
Social Security. Yeah. But once the BBB bill passes, the big beautiful bill passes, and they realize now, hey, wait a minute. We're not losing. It's not taking away our Medicare. And well, Social Security is another. He's going to do a tax cut on Social Security, but you can't in a reconciliation package. So there's some kind of other rebate mechanism they're looking at putting in there. But the old people are going to realize, hey, we're actually going to be getting more Social Security money. At that point, these No Kings protests are gonna, at that point, they might fizzle. They'll at least lose over half of their people when they go, oh, we've been lied to.
Yeah, and that was a recurring theme that I noticed watching all these videos and all these clips on TikTok, things like that from these No Kings protests. They were all fucking old. I mean, it's like they're all the baby boomers, and they're just, I mean, sitting around, especially in the Northeast, right in the New England area, where it's just grossly liberal for absolutely no reason at all. You know, I mean, you know, not saying anything bad looking at you, Ted Kennedy, but, you know, it's, you know, I'm like, I remember walking around Boston when I went up there a few years ago. Like this is basically the birthplace of America, right? We got the U.S. the U.S. or USS Constitution up there. We've got the North Church. I mean, this is where the Sons of Liberty met. This is where Samuel Adams lived, right? Ben Franklin was, from that area. I mean, I know he's from Pennsylvania, but he resided in Boston a lot. His parents did. You got John Hancock, was buried there. But I'm like, how is it that people up here think the way that they think? And it's all the white rich people, all of them, white rich people, right? And they get their wealth, and they work, and I mean, as the generations pass, that old money gets passed down, through trusts and wills and stuff. But it's that social engineering. Remember, I brought it up earlier. It's like you bring this underclass of voters in, and you focus on what do they care about the most, and then tell them that Johnny on the spot over here is going to freaking take away your Medicare. They're going to drain your Social Security. It's like, that it's blatantly false, but it's on the other party to bear that burden of proof, right? To disprove it. And, I personally, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can, as an individual, how you blindly follow something like that, knowing that it doesn't pass the sniff test the first, second, third, or even fourth times. I don't get it.
Well, I was discounting this no kings thing, kind of like, yeah, they're idiots. Now, if they're going to do it 4th of July, something's going to happen, because there's too many patriotic people out there who's gone, yeah, let's laugh at the no kings. They start doing it 4th of July with people's kids around, they're going to get their ass kicked. If they try anything, there is going to be violence.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to be controlled. But the other thing is, who is really behind it? And you have the old people there.
George Soros. Sorry.
You have the old people there.
Uh-huh.
But if you pay attention, there is something going on in the background.
About that. And though the protesters claim this is about no kings, it's about due process, what they really want to do is overturn the entire system, democracy, capitalism. They want to burn it all down. Here is Army Horowitz undercover in a keffiyeh, and he gets the protesters to say the quiet bit out loud.
But is it more about due process or more about overturning the system?
Overturning the system.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to overturn the system.
Overturn this whole American system.
The whole system needs to be.
Do we want to replace it with what?
I don't.
Do we need?
That's the thing. That's the thing. This might turn into something else. Those 13, how many countries are being banned from traveling?
Yeah.
They might have something as well beyond this too.
Maybe we go like the Haiti system, or
it might spark
Yemen or Afghanistan.
Exactly.
That might work better.
Exactly.
Do you condemn the violence?
Never.
Do I condemn violence?
Yeah.
I don't condemn people for fighting what they believe is right.
In order to get your point across, sometimes there has to be violence.
Do you really condemn the violence, or do you understand it?
I would stand it. Stand up against the bully. Somebody's gonna need violence.
So we need violence.
Because we're gonna continue to bite the hand that you think the fuck feeds us. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what's yet to come.
Can you condemn the violence, or do you understand it?
I understand.
I understand it.
We need to break shit down before we can rebuild.
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
Joining me now is filmmaker and journalist Army Horowitz. Army, were you cherry picking there, or was that the majority opinion amongst the protesters you spoke to?
Yeah, so generally the way I work, I lift the kimono a little bit, let you in on the process. Look, when I do a video, what you see is the majority view of who I speak with. Sure, there might be dissenters who think differently, But if they're not the majority voice, the video doesn't go out, or I make the video to reflect that. So generally in my videos, that's the majority voice. This video, Rita, was different. This was every single person. In fact, I had an addendum at the end of the video stating that. I spoke with over 30 people over the course of a number of hours, and not a single person deviated from the views you just heard. I also shot another segment I didn't put in the video, but I also asked them, are we on stolen land? Or should we give this land we're talking about is California, Arizona, New Mexico. Should we give it back to Mexico? They all said yes, or they said give it back to the natives. Look, let's be clear about something. These people are not stupid. I know it's an easy tag to put on people, say, oh, they're just fools, they're useful idiots. No, Rita, they know exactly what they're doing. It always got me upset during the Palestinian pro-Hamas protests when people said, oh, they're just fools, they don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, you hollowing out the power of their intent by saying that. They know exactly what they were doing then. They were calling for the genocide of the Jewish people, the destruction of the state of Israel. They knew exactly what from the river to the sea meant. They may not have known which river, which sea. That's a geography lesson. It has nothing to do with the reality of how they felt. Same thing with this. They're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. The entire time, Rita, there was an undercurrent of violence, right? The violence broke out night after night in Los Angeles. And you can feel it even in the daytime. Well, if you said the wrong thing or they thought you were the wrong person, they would take you down. I was standing there when somebody said, I love America, and took out an American flag, and they beat him, just like they beat me in the campus at CUNY. When I took out the American flag, the same thing happened here. It's the same. People wearing keffiyehs there. That's on purpose. There's an interconnection, the intersectionality between these people and the pro-Hamas voters. This is where we're at in this country, where they want the destruction
It's the same
of the United
crowd.
States. Yes, no question about it.
It is the same crowd. I mean, they are the same anti-American, anti-Western civilization crowd, whether it's BLM riots, whether it's pro-Hamas, whether it's crazy environmentalists, or in this case, these anti-Trump, anti-ICE. They're the same crowd. And what's worrying there, as you showed in the video, was that they have no issues with violence. Not only do they tolerate violence, they think it is a sound method to achieve their goals.
Absolutely. No question about it. And by the way, and we saw it night after night, not in LA, all the BLM riots. I was also the Kings protest, the No Kings protest that in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, look, what you heard everyone whispering and talking and saying, you could hear them say it. Look, no violence. Let's not create violence. Even though that's where their intention was going, but they put it out there because they know that it's an issue for the narrative if they were violent. And I asked these people in the No Kings protest the same questions. And while it wasn't as across the board as it was in Los Angeles, I would say it's about 50% of people. I asked the same questions. 50% of the people at the No Kings protest felt the same way. They defended violence. They said this is stolen land. They didn't say this is not about due process, it's about destroying the system. So look, this is the Rita.
Okay, Bill,
this left unmasked.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to put into perspective, okay, was the time frame of who owned California. Okay, the Spanish colonized it for 52 years. Mexicans, 27. The United States, 175 years. Guess what? We own it. Suck
and
it.
we bought it.
Yeah,
we bought it. We didn't conquer it from Mexico. We bought it from Mexico.
Now, Spain, they kind of conquered it from the Native Americans who had it for like 10,000 years. Okay. But we paid for it. Most of the stuff after almost all the land that we've had, except for like a little bit of spotty things, we paid for. Louisiana Purchase. Texas was voted in after they had their independence from Mexico.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Mexico.
I'm sorry.
And, you know, with your name on this screen across your shirt, all I've been seeing are taco.
Yeah.
I don't see the rest of your shirt. And you know what they've said about Taco and Trump, right?
No. What do they say?
Trump always chickens out. That's what they're saying with the tariffs. But no, that's not taco. What taco means. If someone approaches you and says, "Oh, taco, Trump taco," yeah, Trump always considers options.
I bet you Trump eats his tacos with his head vertical, though.
Yeah.
I end up eating with a knife and fork because I end up
It's Melania's thighs, dude.
I know, right? Yeah.
Waiting for the light bulb to go off here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it too. And there's no power. Anyways, another
The 5-star restaurant that is known as the Y.
Yes.
The
Grab
first
'em
lady
by
is not only the
Out
hostess,
nothing.
but she is also the server of said taco.
Yes. Hopefully it doesn't have extra cheese.
No. I doubt that very seriously. There's no smegma. She's not Michelle. Big
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, that's bratwurst.
Right.
Yeah,
Bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
The latest thing that they say is chickening out is on giving the 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm giving them 2 weeks, but they leave out the up to.
You failed, Bill. Okay. Another thing on that film and everything, all those people that he interviewed, I hate to say it, but they're paid. Go ahead. Just press it.
Press what?
I know Johnny's trying to find it.
Look at the private chat, Bill.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Okay.
finally, Bill.
Wow.
My head was more into news. Like they say he's chickening out with the 2 weeks on say we're going to take out your, but he's not. They leave out that he says up to 2 weeks. They're leaving that out. And right now he turned the Nimitz into it, they're heading over to that location.
I
Now,
also
why
I
would
don't
they-
know whether, and not to interrupt you, you talked about the Nimitz. I've been seeing sporadic articles on Facebook, and I don't know how creditable this is because I can't find it anywhere, but the Navy has been pulled the Missouri, the New Jersey, and I think the Wisconsin out of mothballs, out of retirement to be modernized and recommissioned.
Yeah, I've been
Ooh.
seeing that too.
Reactivated, full active duty. We're pulling the battle wagons out of mothballs.
Which ships?
The Missouri, the New Jersey, and I think the Wisconsin.
I'll have to look into that. Well, right now, one of the reasons they say the Nimitz is heading over there is because the Nimitz has something a lot of the other aircraft carriers don't have. EA-18G growlers for electronic warfare. So their relevance is growlers are critical for disabling Iran's air defenses, which protect the nuclear sites that would precede or accompany strike missions to ensure the other aircraft can operate with reduced risk. So that's why that's heading over there. So he says up to 2 weeks, not 2 weeks. Well, he's got to get his assets in place before he does it. So I think that's what's going on right now. It's going to be whenever you hear this ship, these planes are in a certain location, boom, then it's going to happen.
I'm not
I
saying
think he's already made the decision. But here's another issue. You mentioned Tulsi Gabbard a couple of months ago, saying that they didn't have
Yeah, it was
that capability. This morning, UN's nuclear, and this is bad. UN's nuclear chief says Iran has the material to build the bombs, that they already have it, but they have no plans to do so. So we need to negotiate. They've got it, but don't worry. Well, if they've got it, and we send in our bunker busters and take out that facility, well, they've got it. It's gonna be moved. They're not gonna leave it there. So if they already have a certain amount enriched, and it was a certain amount to make I don't remember how many, quite a few warheads that they have already enriched enough to weapons grade material. And that just came out this morning, unlike a couple of months ago when Tulsi was using the IAEA reports and going, no, they don't have it. Well, now the IAEA says they do.
You remember back when they were building these reactors and they were trying to get the centrifuges and everything like that, and the International Atomic Agency had to go in and do their inspections, and Iran was always like, reneging on it and like, oh, hey, we need to reschedule, or we know that we told you that the facility was here, but we're going to have you go over and inspect this other site. Yeah, I have no doubt that Iran's got the material. I have no doubt that Iran has the infrastructure. Well, let me put it this way. I don't have any doubt that they have the beginnings of the infrastructure, like i.e. the foundation. But if they do have the materials for it, they just need the wherewithal and the infrastructure to build these weapons. Iran should not have a radically Islamic Iran has no business having nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Period.
China has just sent, and I don't have it up. China has sent some aircraft into Iran this last night or this morning that they're tracking, and is it to evacuate people from Iran, evacuate Chinese from Iran? That's what some people are saying. But I'm sure they're not going over there empty.
No,
if they're evacuating refugees from China, it's just to help out their slave labor. So
no,
Iran doesn't have they say that Iran doesn't have the rockets capable of, and I'm not sure what the differences are, of delivering an atomic weapon.
You just need an ICBM.
China does.
Well,
China
okay,
does.
so the
But
delivery
what's being sent
system
over there now,
the delivery system is just the missile itself,
right?
Okay, or the bomb casing,
which you can make out of steel. I mean, we prove it twice.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, I mean, they can load it on their hypersonic missile, or they can load it onto some of their ballistic missiles. But what you're looking at is targeting systems, positioning systems, things like that. The delivery itself, as far as like the potency, I mean, you're talking about payload. So, it's whether or not they have the systems in place or the technology available to them to disperse. It's a disbursement system. That's the thing I was looking for. A disbursement system, because you can't load nuclear ordnance into, like, say, a standard conventional like cluster bomb setup. It doesn't work that way, because at that point you might as well just keep everything together. No, if you want a multiple warhead nuclear delivery system, like the Minuteman or the Titan III or the Titan missile, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can send send the missile up into the atmosphere. That warhead is going to open, or that the nose of that missile is going to open up, and it's going to send payload different directions. Each of those projectiles has its own guidance system with a target locked into place.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, back in the 80s and back in the 90s, they always talked about how, the reason why the Russians had more nuclear weapons than we did is because they didn't have the precision guidance systems that we do. They didn't have the smart weapons. So they believed heavily in a saturation bombing, mentality. Okay. Where we can surgically strike, we can put a multiple megaton warhead in the middle of a city center. They will put multiple mini megaton warheads all over your city and just completely lay waste to everything, including the surrounding areas. See, the Western world is more of a just, surgical type thing. And I think Iran is going to be the same situation with them. It's going to be, they're going to lack, even if they come up with the delivery system, even in its crudest form. Okay, we're going to load it into a bomber and we're going to send it overhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to have the laser guided munition available to deliver it strategically. They're just going to throw it up there and they're going to hope that it hits the target. I think even if they put it on their hypersonic missile and they just send it in the general direction of Israel, it may or may not get there. They may bomb Turkey by accident. They may bomb Syria by accident. Not that there's much left of Syria standing, but they may even hit Iraq. Oh, and then you think at that point that ISIS is pissed off at America? Oh, if Iran drops a nuke on them, guess who just became the new best friend of America?
Yeah,
that's a scary thought. Those vicious little animals, out there fighting alongside. But I think that they're a long way from being the nuclear superpower that they're perpetrating themselves to be. But we don't need to undersell them either. I think at this point, we need to follow General Mattis's mantra of if you meet somebody worth killing, it's worth killing them 10 times over.
I mean, what President Trump could have done or could do right now is just send Hillary Clinton. I mean, she has 100% kill rate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She does. Yeah. Well, not 100% kill rate because there were people that got out of Benghazi. So.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
You don't have the Chris Christie clip, do you?
No.
Oh God, no! I forgot that one. I'm looking for one that was no, that's not it either. There was a spy versus spy type thing that happened just recently. People over the internet were screaming out. It was like, look what Iran's epic spying capability. They captured one of our aircraft characters and they're spying on it. And thank you, Bill. We'll showcase Bill doing the spy versus spy right behind him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good old Mad Magazine. So yeah.
Yeah. But what was happening was they had this old junky test, what we would consider a test plane flying over an aircraft, U.S. aircraft carrier, and spying on the U.S. aircraft carrier. The problem with that is there was an AC-130 right behind it spying on that plane as soon as it was getting close to the what's this? Are you just playing around, Bill? Okay. Welcome to Greenland. Okay. So everybody was screaming out that yeah, the Irans are spying on the USS. I think George Bush is in that area, the aircraft carrier. And yeah, we knew the entire time, but everybody's like, oh, the spying capabilities of Iran. They can't even stop one from going near a aircraft carrier. Now there was AC-130 the entire time, getting ready to decimate that plane as soon as possible. If it got close enough, it would have been dead.
No, but boys, I think it's time to land the plane.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, a couple other quick things.
Okay, Bill.
Well, one more last thing on the topic of the coming Armageddon. Another thing we have to look at is, okay, we got China helping Iran. Russia is eyeing this, and then the strategic affairs minister, Ron Dermer of Israel, he said, China is watching. If the U.S. won't help one of our strongest allies in the area, would we help Taiwan?
The only reason why we would help Taiwan right now is because the secret AI war that we were getting into next week. No, there is an AI war right now.
Yeah.
The whole reason why China hasn't toppled us yet is because of Taiwan. Because Taiwan has the chips that China needs right now to boost up their AI. Their AI is pretty good, but it is, unless you are into that world and are looking at it with a fine-tooth comb. And yes, I don't. Right now, I call it AI on certain instances for some of it, because I'm thinking some of the AI is sentient. I know we're not washing it, but I don't think the Taiwan thing right now. Once we have like the chips made and whatnot, then it's gonna be all over.
Yeah. And did you hear about the RUD, the RUD?
Yeah, we'll get into that next week. We're going to go ahead and land the plane.
Oh, but it just happened.
Yeah, I got it, that, Bill. We'll get it into
1 minute.
next week.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Bill, we are closing the thing. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And Wild William.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.